Hey, what is up everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J Lipsky. So this is a YouTube channel devoted pretty much entirely to dropshipping on different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. And so I have these live chats every single week so that you can come in and ask me any questions that you have. Jump into the live chat, ask questions. I help fill in the gaps between what I talk about in the videos, my more edited YouTube videos, and what it is that you need to be successful with dropshipping. A lot of my students come in here as well from my courses and ask questions as well. So yeah, come on in, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and ask your question in the live chat. I'll do my best to answer them for you. So type of dropshipping we do, we sell on marketplaces. That's a place where there's already customers. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, a ton of customers there already. And we use a model called dropshipping because it allows us to sell inventory there, sell products there without actually buying any inventory up front, without holding any inventory. We don't do things like sell on our own website like Shopify. That certainly works, but it's very difficult for beginners to do Shopify because you have to spend all the time building your own website and doing marketing. Definitely possible, but just face reality. It's not feasible for most people, and selling on a marketplace is just going to be a lot easier. And we're not selling on Amazon right now either. Amazon is just a difficult beast to deal with. Again, it certainly works, but for beginners, let's focus on the lowest hanging fruit, which is eBay and Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. All right, so let's see what kind of questions people have. iMart here says, DS Titan here. That's what we call ourselves. Everyone who's a member of one of my courses, you guys are dropshipping titans. So happy you are here. All right. Hey, Paul, I joined your virtual assistant course. Can a virtual assistant from the Philippines log into my eBay account? AutoDS charges an extra $15 a month for VA add-on. Yeah, you can certainly have a virtual assistant do that. So, virtual assistants, or VA for short, these are individuals that you hire from other countries, usually, like the Philippines. Now, the great thing about hiring them is that they are able to work remotely. And if the business that you have is fully online, which dropshipping, this model that we've set up, you could do this from anywhere in the world. You could do it while traveling. You could do it while living in any state. You could do it while living at home. You can do it after work as a side hustle. So anywhere you can do this, which means a virtual assistant in the Philippines can do it as well. And if you hire the right virtual assistant or multiple virtual assistants, they can actually run pretty much your entire business for you. Now, when it comes to eBay dropshipping, there's a lot they can do. They can help you find products. They can list products for you. They can do order fulfillment. They can do customer service, everything. Now, inside my virtual assistant course, I teach my students how to do that safely, right? Day one, you don't want to give your virtual assistant your eBay password, your Gmail password, all your credit card information, your PayPal login. That is not the smart way to go about it at all because you don't know this person. You don't trust them yet. But they can gain your trust through loyalty, right? Through working with you, through employment. So you hire them on, maybe tell them, hey, do product research, keep a spreadsheet of all the items that you find, and then I'll add them later. Or you can even give them access to your AutoDS account and have them add them in there, which is pretty safe to do. Then as time goes on, as you begin to trust them more, then eventually you might want to give them access to your eBay account by giving them your password to eBay. eBay does have a feature where they allow you to have an employee have limited access to your eBay account, but it is a terrible feature, quite honestly, unfortunately. So you will eventually have to give your virtual assistant full access to your eBay account if you want to have it be more run by them. And again, once they gain your trust, that's not a scary thing to do. It comes in time. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. And then they can run a lot of your business for you. doing it that way. Okay, Renato, what is up? Okay, Becky says, hey, I have my pricing set up just like I have my pricing set up at 18%. I am now tax exempt. Do I lower it to 12 or leave it at 18? Okay, so that's up to you, Becky. If you are making good sales right now, you can leave it at 18% and just keep the rest as profit. That's what I did at first. When I first became tax exempt, and for those of you who don't know, when I say tax exempt, I'm talking about sales tax exempt. So in other words, when you're buying items from your supplier, wholesale supplier or Walmart or Amazon or Home Depot for drop shipping, you technically don't have to pay sales tax for that item because you are not the end consumer. The end consumer is the person you're selling it to on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, okay? So technically you don't have to pay sales tax. And the process that you have to go through so that you don't pay sales tax is by becoming sales tax exempt. Once you become sales tax exempt, then you're not paying sales tax when you're buying the item, which means you're saving, 5-6% sometimes. So you can keep that as profit. That's what I did at first. That was just extra money that I could keep, that I didn't have to pay Walmart or Amazon or Home Depot or whoever because it wasn't necessary anymore. So that's more profit. But if sales aren't quite where you want them to be, you want more sales, or maybe just want to experiment, which I really encourage you to do, try lowering it. You said you set it at 18%. Try 17, try 16, try 15. See how that changes things. And then, you could always go back up if you find you're not making as much profit as you want and kind of keep it at there. Brenda says, do you think you will ever bring back your Amazon course? I can't say one way or the other. At this point, I really have no plans to start drop shipping on Amazon again or to bring that course back. But I do have other plans for Amazon that I definitely will be talking about here on this channel. So stay tuned for that. Because I'll definitely be talking about it once I start going down that route. But for now, the Amazon dropshipping course, especially because I think when it comes to dropshipping, the hottest place right now is Facebook Marketplace. So if you want to start somewhere, start with eBay or Facebook Marketplace. You want the hottest new thing, you can try Facebook Marketplace. In the description of this video, I have links to like a free eBay dropshipping training, a free ebook about Facebook Marketplace dropshipping that will get you on the waitlist for my Facebook Marketplace dropshipping course. So you can check out both of those for free. Omar says, Paul, unfortunately, Facebook Marketplace doesn't want duplicated listings for the same product images. Yeah, that's true, Omar. So when you're listing products on Facebook Marketplace, you really can't list the same product twice exactly the same. So if you list a product once, if you want to list that product again for whatever reason, you have to change things about it, specifically the images. So that's kind of a way around it. But really, I guess the end goal for Facebook is they don't want you listing duplicate items. eBay has the same policy, and if it happens, they just remove the listing, which, isn't a big deal. So, just avoid it from happening. Try not to list the same item more than once unless you have a really good reason for it. Howdy, Sabrina. What is up? Number 4 on the thumbs up. Thank you. Appreciate it. What is up? Jason, what is up, man? How you been? Long time no see. Good to see you're still dropping the sound drop shipping advice. As always, you find something that works, stick to it. I mean, this is one of the kind of toughest lessons to get as a business owner. Everyone's always chasing the next new thing, the new shiny thing. But in my experience, having been an entrepreneur now for over 5 years, what works is what works, whether it's new or old. So it's not always worth it to chase the shiny new thing. Find something that works and then stick to it, or find someone who's been successful with that for a while, follow their methods until you see success, because you know it works, right? You know eBay dropshipping works. You know Facebook Marketplace dropshipping works because you're seeing people be successful with it. You've seen my results. You've seen my students' results. You've seen me bring people on this channel and their results. I've shown you other people's eBay accounts, other people's Facebook Marketplace accounts. So you know it's not just me. Other people are seeing success with this. So you know it works. So why not you? Why couldn't you be just as successful as them? And it just requires you to actually take action and stick with it. Because unfortunately, most people give up like right before they see success. There's like a curve here, right? In the beginning, you are super, super excited about this new thing, even if you're not seeing success with it. And then it starts to get boring. Or you get to a point where a little bit of despair, where you're just like, it's not working for me. Most people give up there. If you push a little bit further, that's when things start to go up. When you start to figure it out, and then you're able to say, okay, this works. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Now I get it. And things just climb up from there. And then the difficult part at that point is, again, it can get boring again because you're just kind of doing the same thing. But be grateful for that. Be grateful for it being boring, because that means it's working. That means you found something that works. And again, if you stick with that, that is when people see success. Jason here, for example, listen to Paul J Lipsky, and I did very well following his advice. It takes practice and time. It's not a get rich quick thing. 100% agree with you, man. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, Renato says, for eBay sales, drop shipping on eBay, and after the sale happens, you then fulfill the order from Walmart. That's what Renato's doing. So for eBay sales, do you put the customer's phone number on the Walmart order, or your phone number? And also, do you know why Facebook does not provide customers' phone number? Okay, so when you have a sale on eBay, a drop shipping sale, and let's say you're fulfilling that from Walmart, during the checkout process on Walmart.com, they're going to ask you for your billing address. That is your address, because you're going to be using either your gift card or your credit card. So that's your address. They're going to ask for an email address. That is your email address. You want your email address in there so that you get emailed the order confirmation email. And then it's also going to ask for the shipping address. That's where you put in the buyer's shipping address. So the shipping address and billing address are different, which is you'll do that during checkout. And then it's going to ask for the phone number. Now the phone number, really the only reason for the phone number is if the carrier, like UPS or FedEx, is having trouble delivering the item. So they might call and say, hey, I can't find your apartment. There's no numbers on here. Or I can't find your house, or whatever the reason is. It rarely happens, but it does happen. So in that situation, ideally, you would put your customer's phone number in there, but really it doesn't matter. I used to put my phone number in there, or I had a phone number for the business. We didn't get calls all that often, so it really doesn't matter. And especially on Facebook Marketplace, they don't give you the customer's phone number. It's just not something that they require. So you'll just put your own phone number in there, and it's not an issue there at all. I think the reason they don't provide it is because they just don't see it as necessary. You can send messages to them through Facebook, and that's kind of the route they want you to go. Sabrina says, for eBay, should I put multiple locations as the location of my item? I heard shipping from different zip codes can cause problems on your account. Is it true? So there is this theory that eBay can identify you as a dropshipper because all your items are shipping from different locations. There's another theory that the only problem with that is that they want to know where your items are being shipped from. They want that to be accurate. So if you want it to be accurate, then when it asks you, when you list the item, it's going to ask you, where is this item located? You can put multiple locations, meaning you have multiple warehouses that this ships out from. That is a safe thing to do. Really, eBay seemed to almost care about this a few years ago, but over the last 8 months, we haven't seen them care about this anymore for whatever reason. So all this shipping from different zip codes thing that people worry about, it's not an issue. Has not been an issue for a while now. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. GMB wants to know, is there a way to increase your positive feedback fast by ordering cheap products from sellers? For example, stickers. So this is one of the weird and unique things about eBay. When you create an eBay account, that is both a buying and selling account. So when you sell stuff, you will get feedback as a seller. When you buy stuff, you will also get feedback as a buyer, but they're combined into one feedback score. So let's say you have an eBay account that's 10 years old and you've only used it to buy stuff, and you've bought a lot of stuff over the years. So you might have several hundred feedback because you bought so much stuff and the sellers sent you feedback. And it's all positive because as a buyer, you can only get positive feedback. Well, if you start selling stuff, your potential buyers are going to see that you have 400 positive feedback. They don't know that all of that came from being a buyer as opposed to a seller. Okay. So it's one of like the funny things about eBay. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's the way they do it. So you can take advantage of this if you want when you start a new eBay account by buying some stuff, getting some of that positive feedback so that you can then have an account when you start to sell stuff that looks better than it is in a way, because it already has, oh, this person has 25 positive feedback. You know, they're a legitimate seller, so people will be less worried. In reality, feedback really doesn't matter all that much. For instance, one of the tests that I did was that I created, I guess it was my second eBay account. Before I started that, the reason I started that was because I started to use new suppliers. So on my first eBay account, I was mainly using Home Depot at the time. And then I started to use Lowe's as well. And when I was using Lowe's, it started to do well. So I thought, hey, let me start a new eBay account and put all my Lowe's items into that account just to stay organized. Now, this worried me a little bit because on my first account, my Lowe's items, let's say like 3 dozen of them, were doing really well. I would sell maybe 1 a day each or something like that. I was afraid that if I were to delete them from that account and list them in the new account, that they wouldn't do as well in the new account. But lo and behold, it didn't really matter. I deleted them from the old account, put them in the new account, and they did just as well in the new account. Even though the new account had no feedback. So I think what really matters more is your items that you have, doing proper product research to find the best items, and building good titles. Those 3 things, or really those 2 things, product research and titles, are the most important things, no matter how much feedback you have. Alvin says, hey, Paul, if we have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, which we talked about a little bit earlier in this live stream, do we need to provide them with a VPN so they can use my Facebook account to do some basic stuff? And I'm assuming, Alvin, what you mean here is you're actually dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace. So for those of you who don't know, on Facebook.com, you can click on the top on the Marketplace icon and you can access Facebook Marketplace. Any Facebook account can access Facebook Marketplace. You can buy stuff and you can sell stuff there. So that is what Facebook Marketplace is. That's where we are dropshipping. And the VPN issue. Okay, so a VPN is a virtual private network. Who really cares? What it really does is it masks who you are in the internet, essentially. So every computer has an IP address. That's what identifies you and your computer on the internet. And a VPN hides that. It gives you a new IP address. Now, the fear is that if a virtual assistant in the Philippines logs into your Facebook account from the Philippines, Facebook is going to think that your account's being hacked. So they're going to close down your account or temporarily suspend it, and then you have to call and go through this whole process to get it back. I have heard of that happening in rare circumstances, but not all that often. But what we do to prevent it from happening, because, even in a rare situation, even if it only happens rarely, we don't want it to happen. That's too much of a risk, right? So we actually do use a VPN for that. But you can't just use a commercial VPN. You have to use a dedicated private VPN. I use a service called IP Burger. And that one allows you to, and I realize that's not linked up in the description of my video, so I'll make sure to do that for the future videos. And that really allows us to have a VPN that's dedicated just for our business. I can use the same VPN as my virtual assistant, so it always looks like it's coming from the same IP address. And that just allows things to be a lot safer. So for logging into Facebook, yes, I do that. I don't do that for eBay, only because when I started, I didn't do it and it worked. And so it hasn't been an issue, okay? And that's been the same thing reported by my students as well. They give their virtual assistants access to their eBay account without a VPN, and it's not an issue. TV wants to know, how many hours a day do I put into my shops? I assume by shops you mean eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook Shops. Not much, to be honest, because I have the virtual assistants doing that. Okay. For every one of my businesses, I have a virtual assistant helping me run it, and they've pretty much taken most of it off my plate. So not that much time. I just check in with them. Wild Mystic says, how is your Chrome extension better or different from the AutoDS helper? Well, my Chrome extension, what it allows you to do, the one that me and my team developed, is you can list directly onto eBay or Facebook Marketplace into a blank listing. What it does is it copies all the information from AutoDS or from Walmart or from Amazon or from Home Depot, copies the title, the photo, the description, the price, it marks it up in price. You click one button, it grabs all that information from the source's website and pastes it into a blank listing, again, on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. So it really allows you to be kind of adapt to however you want to use it, and it looks fully manual. Okay, so in eBay's eyes and Facebook Marketplace's eyes, you have created a blank listing. I'm sorry, a fully manual listing, and there's no software that they can detect because it's all done through the Chrome extension. Hey, what's up, Mike D? TV wants to know, is $400 a week possible for eBay dropshipping alone? I don't know you and your circumstances, but I have had many students achieve this and more. So it is definitely possible because I've seen it happen. Okay, Walter says, hey, Paul, I'm traveling for the summer and was wondering if I should use a VPN for Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. I'm going to Europe for a month, and I'm originally in Florida. So what I'm talking about, you can have a dropshipping business like this and run it while you're traveling all over the world, while you're traveling around Europe. That sounds like a ton of fun, Walter. Have fun, man. Kind of jealous of that. So yes, I would use a VPN for that. Again, use IP Burger, a dedicated static VPN, and start using it now. That way, every time you log in, Facebook's going to say, oh, this is the same person because it's coming from the same IP address. Doesn't matter if you're in Florida, in Europe, in Asia, anywhere, it's going to be the same IP address. And that's just this, it's just security there. You don't want to risk your account even being temporarily suspended. What's going to happen if it gets suspended? They're going to ask you just to, go through a security check to make sure that you really are who you are logging in. You'll get your account back, but it's just a pain. Janet says, what's the best manufacturer for a new, oh my gosh, I can't talk. What is the best manufacturer for a newbie in eBay? Well, Janet, I don't mean to confuse you, but let me just broadly characterize this right now. There are two types of suppliers you can use for eBay dropshipping: wholesale and retail. Retail is definitely a lot easier, a lot more beginner friendly, because all you're doing is you're selling these products on eBay and then fulfilling the orders by buying them from Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon.com, places like that, okay? With wholesale, you actually have to set up wholesale agreements, and there's a few more steps involved. It's definitely worth it in the long run. It's more of a legitimate business. You are building these business relationships, kind of more sustainability there. It's totally allowed by eBay. Retail technically isn't, but it's just not as simple and fast as eBay dropshipping retail. One of the reasons retail dropshipping works so well is because it's able to adapt so quickly. When you use wholesale suppliers, which again, I'm not dissing them. I use them. I think they're great. There's definitely a place for them. What's great about they might have hundreds of items for sale, hundreds of SKUs, as they call it, but you might only find 24 that you actually want to try selling, and then maybe only half of those actually do well. Now, those 12 that do well could do really well. I mean, all you have to do is find one good supplier with a handful of products like that, and you're kind of set, okay? Just one good supplier. But it is a process to get there. Meanwhile, if you're drop shipping from Walmart, once you get things set up, which you can do in a day, less than a day, you now have access to all the items that Walmart sells, which is a ton of items. So you don't have to go and form new relationships with new suppliers, new wholesale suppliers, because there are so many products for sale on Walmart and more being added every single day, and you have access to all of them instantly once you start this method of drop shipping onto eBay. So a manufacturer, I think right now, Walmart is definitely the easiest one to start with when it comes to eBay drop shipping. Amazon is great as well, but there are a few issues with them. There are ways around it, but it's a little bit complicated. So straightforward, Walmart is the simplest place to start if you're looking at retail drop shipping. Anthony says, is it safe to use Amazon as a supplier? Great segue into this question. And is there a difference in using my regular or Prime account? Obviously, there is a difference between regular and Prime. Prime is better. Prime is going to get you free shipping. Prime, if you have a Prime credit card as well, will give you 5% back on all your purchases. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. So it is great. The problem with Amazon, when you're using Amazon Prime to dropship, is that they recently started to shut down accounts, buying accounts that were purchasing a lot of items and shipping to different locations. There are ways around it, something I teach my students in my course, but it's not as straightforward as just using something like Walmart. But it definitely works if you're willing to go through the steps to go around it. TV wants to know, would you recommend print on demand? Would you recommend it for eBay? Excuse me. What is print on demand? So print on demand is when you sell products, usually clothing, that you design the shirt. Okay? So you make a great design for it, but you actually don't print it up. Instead, you list it up for sale. Like I'll list up this t-shirt with a crazy cool design on it. Then once it sells, then I print it up and ship it out. So it's printed on demand. Get it? I don't really know about eBay. I don't think it works as well as Amazon. For something like print on demand, you should go to Amazon because Amazon makes it stupid simple to do. With Amazon, you can actually put it into their program, your designs. They will actually, you'll have your listing. If it sells, they will print it up and ship it to the customer. You literally have to do nothing but collect money at that point. So you could upload all these types of t-shirts that you have designs for, and then the rest is kind of on autopilot. So that is a good solution. The downside of that is that the cut of profit they take, I think, is quite large. And for just individual t-shirts, the profit margins aren't that high anyway. So for that, you might want to consider also starting a Shopify store where you sell your products. And for that, you can use a service to do the print on demand. So look up a website called Novelty Inc. That is what they specialize in. The guy who runs that company, Ralph, he's a complete pro. I don't know anyone in the world who knows as much about print on demand as he does. That is the guy you want to learn from if you want to do print on demand. So look up Novelty Inc. Hey, what is up? Marjorie says, does your Facebook course cover shops and marketplace? It does, Marjorie. So there are two ways, believe it or not, to dropship on Facebook. The first is with Facebook Marketplace, and the second is with Facebook Shops. To really keep it simple, you're still selling on Facebook Marketplace with both methods, but Shops, it just allows you to unlock a ton of additional features that will really boost up and help your business quite a bit. So yeah, both of them are great, but Shops, once you get to that level, just is better. No way else to say it. And in my course, my Facebook dropshipping course, I teach both. You know, everyone's going to start out with Facebook Marketplace. It's the simplest, most straightforward. I mean, you follow my course, you get set up with Facebook Marketplace, and then you start adding products to it from like Walmart or Home Depot. And then once they sell, you just buy it from that other website. There's some things you have to know in there, of course, but that is the basic premise of it. And you can literally start making sales the same day you get the course. And I know that because I've had many students tell me that. They say, wow, I bought the course this morning. I'm already making sales. Okay. So that is with Marketplace. Shops takes a few extra steps to get set up. So while your Facebook Marketplace account is running, you can spend some time on the side setting up your shops, and then your shops will get approved and you can go hit the ground running with that. So I teach both of those inside my Facebook Marketplace dropshipping course. So you can do both or just stick with Marketplace. That course is normally not open for enrollment. It is closed for enrollment at this moment. But if you want to get on the wait list, and I recommend that you do, because the last time that I had some openings available, I didn't talk about it on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or anywhere else. I only sent an email to the people on the wait list saying, hey, I have a few spots open. Who wants to join? So you should really get on that wait list if you're interested in that. That will be that's linked up in the description. There's like a free ebook, a Facebook Marketplace dropshipping ebook or list of items to sell. Once you go there, enter in your email, you'll get that PDF, and you'll also get on the wait list as well. Okay. This is all stuff I cover in the course. So Rodrigo says, how do I get the shipping option for Facebook Marketplace if I'm a US citizen living outside the United States? Yeah, so stuff like that is covered inside the course, specific examples like that. So those are all things that you can see in there. Alvin, another question. When you are starting with Facebook Marketplace, is there a rule of thumb as to what you will be listing and how many per day is the suggested listings? When it comes to listing items, you have to master product research. I say this all the freaking time, but it still is so important to understand. You have to get down product research. You have to learn the way to find the best products to sell. And by that, I mean products that are already popular or that are similar to items that are already popular. Don't waste your time on anything else. Okay? You might be on Walmart saying, I think this item would sell well. Why? Your whole perception of what is going to sell well is totally warped as soon as you start selling products online because you're hopeful, right? You want the product to do well. So you're looking at this product on Walmart saying, I want it to do well. So therefore, yeah, of course someone would buy this. Yeah, of course someone would buy this, but you don't really know. Let's not use subjective kind of analysis like that. Let's look at objective things. Let's look at the data. And there's plenty of data. There's plenty of data that we can get through product research that tells us what products are popular right now. And then we can list those products or substantially similar products. That way we have a much greater guarantee of success. Because if we're just listing random products, you might list up 300 random products and then, I don't know, 20 of them might do well. I don't like those proportions. But if you're able to go in and see, okay, these products, these 50 products are already selling well online. People are buying these on marketplaces. I'm just going to list up these same products or substantially similar products because I know that people want them. That's what this whole premise of dropshipping is about. We're not trying to make this more complicated than it needs to be. We are looking, where are there already customers? And there's already customers on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, a ton of them. And then 2, what are they already buying? And then we are going to sell those same products or substantially similar products. Okay. Anything else that you do at this point is just a waste of time. Okay. There's tons of research out there or data out there that we can use to make our lives a lot easier. And maybe the word data makes it sound a lot more complicated than it needs to be. It isn't. My students know this. My 3-step product research formula is very, very simple. Actually, I just added a 4th step, but it is not a hard step at all. And that's kind of more of a bonus step anyway. And that 4-step process makes it very simple to kind of get this information and to know exactly what products you should be selling right now. So that is what you have to get down, because if you can get down product research, that is what makes a difference. Every store I look at, I used to do these analysis of stores where people would send me their eBay store and I look at it, or Facebook store. I don't do that anymore, unfortunately, because I just don't have time for it. But when I did it, the number one thing that separated the stores that were doing really well from the stores that weren't was product research. That is what makes the leap from not making sales or making very few sales to getting to the point where people are making sales. And at that point, that's when we can kind of get into some of the more nitty-gritty kind of techniques and things like that to boost things back up. That's certainly things I help my students with. But in that first step, you got to get down product research, because without that, it doesn't matter if you have all the latest techniques or theories of selling or whatever it is, or tactics, that's the word I was looking for, or the newest software. It won't matter if you don't have the right products that you're selling. So that's why it's the number one most important thing. Number 2, again, is creating good titles. Oh, everyone, thanks TV. Everyone make sure to give the video a thumbs up to this man. He got the best advice. Show some love, everyone. Appreciate that. Also, make sure to subscribe. We are past 90,000 subscribers. We are well on our way to 100,000 subscribers. And when we hit that point, we're at, what are we at? Just over 90,000. When we hit 100,000, there'll be a massive giveaway. Lots of stuff. I don't even know what they're going to be yet. I'm going to go all out for it. So make sure you subscribe, because you have to be subscribed before I hit 100,000 to get those prizes. Okay. Great follow-up question. I'm new to eBay, 0 sales so far. I'm listing popular items that other dropshippers sell well. Their prices are too low. How many items can I list daily to be safe? Okay, so if you're having problems with the items that you're listing, they're not selling well based on the research that you've done, that's when you have to go to my new 4th step for product research. Again, my students inside my course, check out the 4th step, because I should have made an announcement about it, because it is very, very valuable. It's one of the biggest things that I've done to really make a difference. Step 4, announcement. is this extra step, which is really selling substantially similar items, because that will allow you to introduce new items to the marketplace very, very easily. And I talk about that in the course. Big thumbs up. Thanks, Zane. I appreciate it. Jason says, Paul, you're not doing the van thing anymore. For a while, you were streaming from the van. Yeah, so again, one of the beauties of this lifestyle business, I'll call it, is again that you can do it from anywhere in the world. And I did for about 2 years. I traveled full time while running my businesses. And we got a van. It's, decked out with beds, bathroom, shower, kitchen, AC, heat, all of that. So it was a nice van. And we just traveled around the United States, staying in new cities for a couple weeks, going to all the national parks. And in the mornings, I wake up early, do all the business on the computer, had hotspots. Every Tuesday, I would still show up for the live streams, no matter what time zone I was in. Still made videos from the road as well. But I was able to do it all while traveling. And that's the beauty of a lifestyle business, is that you're not tied down to one location. Because for me, cubicle life didn't work for me. It was too stifling. So I was happy to break free and to go out in the world and to run my businesses while having it fit around my lifestyle. But after 2 years, it did start to get a little bit tiresome being on the road full time. It's really nice to have a home base, which we have now in Colorado. Just being able to have, community, kind of stability, routines, and our toys as well. Bikes, one wheels, skiing in the winter, all that stuff wouldn't fit in the van, but now we're able to do that. And, this lifestyle still works. I mean, the business still works around a lifestyle because I love being outside. And for me, being able to wake up in the morning and go for a long bike ride, and I see everyone else commuting to work, and I can go for a long bike ride and then come back and then do all my business or check in with my virtual assistants who are doing a lot of it. That's great for me because other people, they're rushing to work out, rushing to do the things that they love or spend time with the people they love because they only have a few hours before they have to go to work, only a few hours after work, and then they have to cram it all in on the weekends. And especially during ski season, I was able to ski on a Wednesday or Tuesday, or actually Wednesday, which is like the quietest day of the week, while everyone else was working. And then on the weekends, I wouldn't go near the ski slopes because they're just way too packed. And that was a good time to work on business stuff. So kind of like a arbitrage in a sense, right? A time arbitrage. Okay. Jason says, it works. Dropshipping works. My life just got way too busy to maintain it. Between work and life, things got crazy. The dropshipping works. Be patient. Keep at it. Listen to Paul. Thanks, Jason. So happy to hear that. Well, sorry to hear that life got crazy. I hope that's a good crazy. And yeah, certainly we'd love to have you back if you start dropshipping. Maybe you should maybe we'll help you hire some virtual assistants next time. Yes, that's true. But that's not an issue. Please smash that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you from our moderator, Mr. Policies. Jeffrey says, Paul, my eBay sales have dropped significantly since April. Usually it comes back after tax time, but it's not. Okay, so a few things. First of all, usually during the summer, there's always a slowdown in sales. That is normal. Ups and downs are normal. And I think this summer, people aren't spending as much as in the past just because of high gas prices and just the cost of living has gone up. But I wouldn't give up hope because we've seen this before, things like this. And then in December, things just go wild again. It doesn't really matter. People will spend a ton of money in quarter four later on in quarter four, and you'll see things pick back up. But the other thing to consider is I I'm not looking at your account, so I don't know, but I see this a lot between seasons where people will do really well for a season and then they don't add new products or the right products going into the next season. And so they see a drop in sales. This happens a lot if you are listing up a lot of products for sale that are seasonal. So let's say it's January and you're doing product research, you're seeing what's hot, and all the items you're listing are wintertime items, things that people would only buy during the winter. Well, those are going to do really well for a few months, but then, April hits and people are going to stop buying those. And if you're not adding new products or the right new products, that can be a reason as well. Again, I'm not looking at your account, so I don't know, but that's usually what I see with most people. Okay, Becky says, follow-up question. I had an order from California, got charged $30 in tax and lost $7 on that order. Yeah, so that's one reason you would want to keep that up instead of lowering it down so that doesn't happen, and that won't happen. So that's the easiest solution. The other solution is you can become sales tax exempt in California. You can go through the process of doing that. It is more work for you, but if you're getting a lot of sales to there, it's worth it. My pleasure. Let's see. Kind of lost my place in the chat. Where was I? Okay. I don't know, but we'll pick up here. Know it all, Haley. I love bowling. Smarter than you. That's a really funny name you got there, Haley. Anyway, Haley says, I have a question, Paul. Once I start selling and stuff, how do I fulfill the orders? Especially if there are a lot of sales. Do you have to be on your computer all day and buy the products and ship it? Oh, this is a very legitimate concern. After all, you're starting this business probably as a side hustle or as, again, a lifestyle business. One where you can travel or you can do it as a stay-at-home parent or just do it at home. So you want to do it on your terms, on your time, right? So when you get your sales, what I did at first was, because I was excited, I would just fulfill the orders as soon as I could. But that quickly becomes unsustainable because you're getting so many orders. So what I recommend is that you place orders once or twice a day, usually at the start of the day or the end of the day or both, okay? Or you can do it one in the morning, maybe once during your lunch break. So you batch them. So during that time of day, whenever it is that you choose, it doesn't matter, as long as it's consistent, the same time every day or about the same time every day, log in to your eBay account or Facebook Marketplace, wherever it is, and just fulfill all those orders from the oldest one to the newest one. And the reason I say do it consistently is because you don't want to do it in the morning one day and then the next day at night, too much time has passed. You want to fulfill those orders quickly, but doing it once a day at the same time is going to be fine. So do that. And then you can always, again, hire a virtual assistant to help you do it. Hire a virtual assistant and tell them, hey, at the same time every day, pick a time, fulfill all these orders and teach them how to do that. And then you can even have them do it twice a day so that you get the orders out faster. That is the way to do it. Let's not make it more complicated than it needs to be. Log in once a day to do all the orders. Okay, Sushi says, hey, Paul, Walmart can't deliver to the buyer's house, so I had to cancel the order. I don't have a ton of information from you on exactly what happened here. Usually when you are buying the item or listing the item from Walmart, it will tell you whether this item ships or whether this is only something that you can pick up in store. If it ships, it's in stock. If it's pick up in store, it is out of stock, okay? For purposes of what we're doing. So if you're using a good software, all my students know I am a huge advocate of software that is used correctly. Use the software correctly, and it will actually monitor all your items for you. So let's say you have 36 items from Walmart listed on Facebook Marketplace. It will monitor those items on Walmart and it will tell you, hey, this item went up in price. This item went down in price. This item went out of stock. That is important to know. And it knows, hey, if this says only available for pickup, that means it's out of stock. The software knows that. So with that, armed with that software, this issue really shouldn't happen because you'll get alerted. You'll know that the item went out of stock and you can make changes accordingly. In this situation, because it happened, I don't know if it happened on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. Usually what we try to do is we try to find the same item somewhere else or a substantially similar item and ship it to the customer instead, or ask them if they want that one instead. Therefore, we can at least get them something and happy. Abed says, if we open multiple eBay accounts, would eBay shut them down through your IP address? Possibly. This is a bit of a more advanced question. You know, most people don't have to worry about this. You want to start selling on eBay, you set up an eBay account. Okay, simple as that. One account. That's all you need. That's all you're going to need for a while. Again, let's not make this more complicated. You don't need multiple accounts in most cases. Are you allowed multiple accounts? Yes, but stick with one. Okay, one is all you need for a while. You have your one account. If you set up a second account, eBay will know. Okay, they'll know you have multiple accounts. And how do they know? They look at things like your IP address, your cookies, your name, your phone number, address, all that stuff. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But for some people, it is a bad thing because they want to keep their accounts separate. So yes, they can identify that through your IP address. But again, for most people, most of you guys watching this, you don't even need to worry about what we're talking about there because you only need the one eBay account. Virtual private network, yes. Thank you to the 65 people who are here, but we only have 36 thumbs up. So if we can kind of close that gap, I would appreciate it. Of the 65 people, only about half have given the video a thumbs up. Okay. Okay. Sake says, how does VAT work in dropshipping? So VAT is kind of like sales tax in Europe. I'm not terribly familiar with it because I don't sell in Europe. I sell in the United States. So, you should really look at what the policies are for your country and your eBay. But for us, we don't really use it. And for us, sales tax, a lot of people are worried about it in the United States because, I have to worry about sales tax. I have to collect sales tax. I have to take care of it all. But really, the marketplaces are required to do that now for most states. So when you're selling on eBay and Facebook Marketplace, they will collect sales tax for any items that you sell. They will handle all of it for most states, so you don't have to worry about it. It really makes our lives so much easier. Some more sage advice from Jason. eBay is descriptive word driven. Craft your description and titles carefully. Try not to copy and paste a description from your vendor. 100%, especially the titles. I agree with you there. The titles, if you copy and paste them, you're not going to do that well. Just plain and simple. You want to fill them with descriptive words. Words that people are actually going to be searching for. Remember, this is the second most important thing. After product research, it is building good titles. Because the titles, if they're full of keywords that people are going to be searching for when they're looking for that item, it's more likely that your item will show up than someone else who didn't go through the time needed to build this title. So don't be lazy here, okay? Take the time. So there's many things in this business of dropshipping that you don't need to waste your time on, okay? So we were talking before about multiple eBay accounts and managing them and all that stuff. Don't waste your time with that, okay? But do spend the time instead here on product research and building good titles, because that is what really makes the difference, okay? S500 says, hey, Paul, give me some advice, please. I have learned a lot about eBay dropshipping, create an account, have everything payment set up. I'm afraid, and I haven't posted any items, but I'm ready. Pull the trigger. Dude, you're right there. And I've seen this happen so many times where people get everything set up, but don't actually take the next step. Don't do that, man. You are so close. What is the worst that can happen? Okay. What is the worst that can happen if you just list up one item? Just one item. That's it. One item, step back and say, okay, I'm going to wait and see what happens. Hey, nothing happened. Nothing bad happened, I should say. I'm going to list up a second one. I'm going to list up a third one now. Oh, now I made a sale. Okay, now I'm getting nervous again because this is something else new. New things are scary. Absolutely. But it's only by doing new things that we actually get new results. And the new results we're looking for are a new lifestyle with income from a new source, right? So don't be afraid to try new things, especially if you're looking for new results. So just take that first step. List that one item, then just step back and see what happens. And I guarantee you the world's not going to collapse. Everything's going to be fine. Then you can list up a second one. Then you make the sale. And then you fulfill that order and everything went well. And then you can go on from there. Just one step at a time. How do you handle returns? Omar, returns are super easy for drop shipping because you still do not handle the item at all. Again, we're going to keep this simple. All you're doing is you're going to contact your supplier. So let's say you fulfilled it from Walmart. Contact Walmart and say, hey, I want to return this item. Really, it's your buyer who's returning it, but just say, I'm going to return this item. They're going to send you a free prepaid return label. You're going to save it to your desktop on your computer. Then you're going to message the buyer on eBay or Facebook Marketplace and say to them, hey, use this free prepaid return label, box up your item, put it on there, and then you'll get a refund. So then what will happen is they'll do that. They'll ship it back. Walmart will refund you. You refund the customer, and that's it. It's that simple. And again, you can hire a virtual assistant to do that as part of the customer service part of it. Amanzi says, a question about wholesale dropshipping and inventory source. Do you have to partner with inventory source or can you just buy wholesale off their site? So if you're dropshipping, you're doing wholesale dropshipping, one of the resources I talk about is inventory source. Is pretty good because it gives you a whole list of suppliers that many of them do wholesale dropshipping. Unfortunately, because it's a well-known list, it's a little bit saturated. So inside my course, I really teach you how to find untapped opportunities, suppliers that aren't saturated, that aren't on that list. But it's an okay place to start. When you sign up for an inventory source account on their website, it's free, but that's just a list. It's just a list of different suppliers. You have to reach out to each supplier individually and set up accounts with them. And if you don't know how to do that, that's something I teach inside my course because you have to say the right thing. Many businesses will say no if they suspect that you're too much of an amateur or don't know what you're doing. But if you use the correct words, right? Industry words, you'll sound like you know what you're talking about. They'll have more confidence in you. They'll allow you to set up accounts that you can then drop ship from them. But hey guys, that is all we have time for today. I know there's a ton more questions I didn't get to, and I'm sorry about that. We typically run out of time during these live Q&As because you guys ask so many questions and I try to answer them as in-depth as possible. So please come to the next live Q&A and ask your question as soon as I start. That way there's a greater chance I'll see and actually be able to answer it. If you guys enjoyed the video, spend 1/10 of a second to give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, tell your friends to subscribe, your family to subscribe, because again, we are hitting 10,000 subscribers soon, 100,000 subscribers soon, and we'll be doing a massive giveaway once we hit that point. So thanks so much everyone for hanging out, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.